Hi guys, so this is V11 Dyson motor with a control board, and it's not working, it's a pulsing. So once you pull the trigger, it's a pulsing, and like basically it doesn't allow you. It's kind of like you feel like it's a throttling. Something is clogged, something's stuck. So I clean my vacuum, I make sure that there is nothing stuck, nothing clogged, and still like it's a pulsing. So I did some research and online, look online, Reddit, YouTube, and most of the people they just replace the whole unit, like the motor with the control board. But I believe there's a way to fix it. There's a way to fix it by replacing some faulty parts. And a couple people mentioned online that like it could be capacitors, it could be MOSFETs. So let's see. To remove the control board, you need to disassemble, like basically remove this cable. This is the display cable. Those things, connections, I already removed from here. And now I need to unsolder like the board from the motor. So you see those two things. So uh, like this control board has a lot of heat dissipation, so you need to use like the like soldering iron, like at least like 80 or 90 watt, and just if you have like a thick tip, that would be easier, because it's not I already tried to unsolder and it's not really easy to unsolder like this control board. So before we move forward, I just wanted to mention that on underside there are three capacitors, as in like they're connected, like this is one, this is second, and here's the third one, and there are like four MOSFETs. So a lot of times like like those capacitors can be faulty, because this control board gets very hot, in particular when you use like when you like use a lot of boost mode. A lot of current goes through like this control board. So one of the way, as I mentioned before, you just need to unsolder this control board and change the capacitors. But there's another solution, and it's very easy, and it's working. It might work. It might work. So if your Dyson is pulsing, or just like when you pull trigger, just it gives you kind of like a Boeing engine sound, so you feel like the motor doesn't want to rotate. So that's probably capacitors. So what you can do before unsoldering the whole like board, you can use the ceramic capacitors like this one, but something bigger. So find something like that would fit here, like as bigger as possible, and just solder right away. So that might work. So that way, so you take just ceramic capacitor like this one. I know it's visible that this one, but bigger, like as big as possible. Just put it between two contacts and just solder here. So there's three capacitors, one's here, and one's here. Just solder and see if it works, because it might help. So ceramic capacitors, they have very low ESR value, and that's what you need for this like a motor, because it's a BLDC motor. So capacitor, they work very hard just to smooth like voltage spikes, and ceramic capacitors, like they do a really good job. So though they might not have the same capacity as what we have here on the underside, and I believe it's a 270 microfarad. So, but that's fine. At least if you find something like that would fit here, like a big one, just try, it might work. So I just desoldered the control board. It wasn't easy, it was a little bit tricky. And yeah, you need to use at least like 100 watt, like 80 or 100 watt soldering iron with slightly thick tip. Otherwise it's going to be really tricky, and you need to use also a lot of flux. Anyway, so those Dyson V11, mostly they have three types of the issues. The first issue, when it doesn't turn on, So you click the button and the screen doesn't turn on, and you pull the trigger, it doesn't work. In that case, probably you vacuumed the wet floor. In that case, you got the short to the ground. In some cases I have seen it's mostly like this element, sorry for my cat, this element and the capacitor. So with this board the issue is it's pulsating. So you pull the trigger and you feel like it's like the control board tries to throttle the motor, so it doesn't allow to go full speed. So what's going on here is like this resistor, which is the shunt resistor, it's R001. It gets very hot, in particular when you use on the boost mode, it gets really hot. Now I will replace this resistor and see if it works. Another issue that when the V11 has that sound like a Boeing engine, in that case it could be those 3 capacitors. So why we have here capacitor, because it's here like we have like a BLDC motor, and like it has the voltage spikes. So to smooth all those voltage spikes you need to have those capacitors. If they lose their like kind of like functionality, capabilities, capacity, so it cannot so they cannot smooth the voltage spikes. So you get some issues, like the motor might not even like start properly. And yeah, and obviously we have 4 MOSFETs. I also checked them in the diode mode, so they work. I don't have any issue with them. And yeah, so if I also have seen online that sometimes like those MOSFETs like they get short between emitter and collector, so you have to replace them. And yeah, so for me the good thing, like the all working, because to replace them it's really tricky, like because you see here there's some coating that Dyson company that covers their control board. So you first need to remove this coating to unsolder those MOSFETs. So yeah, let me try to replace this resistor and see if it works. Alright, I have replaced this resistor, and as I mentioned, it's not easy. It takes some efforts and really good soldering iron. So now I need to just solder back to the motor and see if it works. Alright, soldering is done. I assembled, and let's see if it's working. It's working. No issues, no throttling, even on different modes. No issues. Working perfectly. That's it. Enjoy the video.